about what is simplest form. And so we're just going to start off. We're going to say you have been working really hard, you had a problem, and it said what is 4/12 plus 8/24, and you found the common denominator by multiplying both the denominator and the numerator by 2, and you got 8/24 plus 8/24 is 16/24. And then you go to look at your answers to circle that 16/24, and it's not there. So you think to yourself, oh, I've done something wrong. I've got to go back and start all over again. Well, the truth is you haven't done anything wrong. You just haven't finished the problem. Problem is now you have 16/24. But that's not the easiest way to say this problem, which means it's not in simplest form yet. Simplest form just means that it's not the easiest way to say this fraction. So in this case, both 16 and 24 can still be divided by something else to make it into a simpler fraction. So, in this case, what we would do is we would list all the factors of 16, list all the factors of 24, try and find the greatest common factor. Remember, common means the same. So the largest factor that is the same for both 16 and 24, and then divide both the 16 and 24 by that greatest common factor. This becomes really easy when you know your multiplication. When you know your multiplication, you can easily see, oh, 16 and 24 are both divisible by 8. I'll divide them both by 8, and I'll end up with 2/3. But I'm going to show you what you need to do in case multiplication is not coming to you that quickly yet. I'm going to keep practicing, and it will. You're going to list out all the factors. The factors are the numbers that can be multiplied by each other to get an answer, right? Our two factors give us our product, in this case 16. So we always start out with 1 because every number can be multiplied by 1 in itself. Then we count up to 2. In this case, we know 2 will go into 16 because it's even. 2 times what? If you don't know, you can count up 2, 4, 6, 8, and continue on to 16 and see how many times it will go into it. But it is 8. Will 3 go into it? If you're not sure, count up by 3s and see if you get to 16. You'll find out that no, you don't. So 3 is not a factor of 16. What about 4s? 4, 8, 12, 16? Yeah, it will. 4 times. 4 times 4. Now in this case, we've already come back around to 4, so there's no more factors. These are all the factors of 16. Let's do 24. We always start out with 1 times 24. Now 2, yes, it does because it is an even number. So 2 times what? 2 times 12. What about 3? If you don't know your 3 multiplication, again, count up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So yes, 8 times. What about 4? Yes, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now see, we can look back here. The only number in between 4 and 6 is 5. Will 5 go into 24? No. So I've listed all my factors of 24. So in this case, I'm going to circle all the ones that they have in common. They have 1 in common. They have 2 in common. They have 4 in common. Do they have 16 in common? No. What about 8? Yes, they do. Already did 4. Do they have 6 in common? No. So what is our greatest common factor? 8. So that's what we're going to divide both the top, the numerator, and the denominator by. 16 divided by 8. How many times will 8 go into 16? 2. How many times will 8 go into 24? 3. So our new simplified factor is 2/3. 2/3, 2 times 8 would give you 16. 3 times 8 would give you 24. All right, so let's try one together. Now that I've showed you one, in this case, I think I accidentally had that one in the wrong out these numbers at the bottom, 2, 3, 5, 7 numerator, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But in this one, we need to list our factors of both 9 and 21. So we're going to start out with 1 times 9. What about 2? Will 2 go into 9? No, it's not an even number, so it won't. What about 3? Will 3 go into 9? Yeah, 3 times 3. And we're back to the beginning, okay? What about 21? 1 times 21. What about 2? Will 2 go into 21? No. It is an odd number. What about 3? Will 3 go into 21? You don't know. Count up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yeah, that's 7. What about 4? Will 4 go into 21? If you count up by 4s, you'll find out that you don't get to 21. How about 5? No, it doesn't end in a 0 or 5, so it won't go into it. 6? You count it by 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. No, it doesn't go into it. And then 7 we already have, so we've gone all the way. Let's circle the ones that we have in common. We have 1 in common. We have 3 in common. And that's it. So what's our greatest common factor? 3. So what are we going to divide both of them by? Both the top and the bottom. What is 9 divided by 3? It's 3. What is 21 divided by 3? 7. 7. This should be, in simplest form, our answer. Now the reason I have these numbers at the bottom is because sometimes when I'm listing my factors, I make mistakes. You're going to see that in just a second. But, so I always go and do a quick check, and I start off with our first prime numbers. Because those prime numbers, I don't need to check 6 because I've already checked 2 and I've already checked 3. If something's divisible by 6, then it's already going to be divisible by 2 and by 3. Same thing with 4, 9, and all. Those numbers aren't prime. But these are the prime numbers, so I kind of quickly check a few of them in the beginning just to make sure that that my answer truly is the simplest form. Can both the numerator and the denominator be divided by 2? No. What about 3? Well, yeah, the numerator, but not the denominator. What about 5? Neither one. 7? Denominator, yes, but not the numerator. And the numerator is 3. We've already checked that. So yeah, we know we're in simplest form. It's just an easy check to do to check ourselves again. And here's why we do that. It's because sometimes we get so busy or we try to do things in our head. So we listed out all our factors, but I made a mistake. I forgot a factor here. I'm not sure if you'll see where that is or not. But I forgot a factor here. And so I think my greatest common factor, according to this, is 6. According to what I did. Like I said, I made a mistake. So I divide this 24 divided by 6, I say is 4. It's 36 divided by 6 is 6. And I think, okay, yes, I got my answer. But I missed one of my factors. And so my greatest common factor shouldn't be 6, it should actually be 12. But I missed that, so I ended up with 4, 6. But if I do my quick check down here, I would see that, oh yeah, it's not in simplest form yet. So I'm going to divide 4, see if 4 and 6 will be divisible by 2. And it will. When you have 2 even numbers on top of each other, you're never finished. So I'm going to divide this by 2. It's just an extra step. And I end up with 2/3. And then I can check that. Is 2/3 divisible by 2? Well, 2 is, but not 3. What about 2/3 divisible by 3? Well, 3 is, but not 2. 5, neither one. 7, neither one. And our numerator is simply 2. We've already checked that. So now we know it's truly in simplest form. So it's just an extra check. Sometimes you have to do an extra step to that. Okay, so last one. This one I want you to try by yourself. 12/18. So go ahead, start listing the factors, find that greatest common factor, and then divide it by that greatest common factor. Do your checks at the end with 2, 3, 5, 7 in the numerator, and make sure you truly have